What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sang, and we are back with a very special episode. Today on Twitter, just literally as I was editing videos, Elon Musk said, "What really happened with the Hunter Biden story suppression by Twitter will be published today." And he dropped it. It's called the Twitter Files, and you already know we are about to get into it. I swear. And there's an episode 2 that drops tomorrow. This is wild. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into it. We're gonna go through all this together because I ain't even read this yet. I haven't even read this yet, right? So he got this going through Matt Taibbi. He put it through his account, okay? So what you're about to read is the first installment in a series based upon thousands of internal documents obtained by sources at Twitter. The Twitter Files tell an incredible story from inside one of the world's largest and most influential social media platforms. It is a Frankensteinian tale of a human-built mechanism grown out of the control of its designer. Twitter in its conception was a brilliant tool for enabling instant mass communication, making a true real-time global conversation possible for the first time. In an early conception, Twitter more than lived up to its mission statement, giving people the power to create and share ideas and information instantly without barriers. As time progressed, however, the company was slowly forced to add those barriers. Some of the first tools for controlling speech were designed to combat the likes of spam and financial fraudsters. Slowly, over time, Twitter staff and executives began to find more and more uses for these tools. Outsiders began petitioning the company to manipulate speech as well. First a little, then more often, then constantly. By 2020, requests from connected actors to delete tweets were routine. One executive would write to another, "More to review from the Biden team." The reply would come back, "Handled. Y'all see this? Y'all see this?" These are all the tweets they wanted gone. Handled. So they were this whole time, they were so mad when Elon bought this because they knew Elon was about to expose everything. I've never seen so many people like, "Oh, he's gonna get rid of free speech. Oh, he's gonna do this." So far, Elon hasn't done any of that since coming in. It's been so weird. Over the past couple years, when you be like, "Oh, y'all just randomly banning people on Twitter, y'all doing this or that." No, we're not. Okay. What is this? This is the beginning of the files. There's more. Celebrities and unknowns alike could be removed or reviewed at the behest of a political party. Look at this. I grabbed the first one under SI, defer to safety on the high-profile second one. An additional report from DNC, more people stuff that got banned. More people stuff. Oh, this is wild. Both parties had access to these tools. For instance, in 2020, requests from both the Trump White House and the Biden campaign were received and honored. Oh, snap, it's from both sides. However, the system wasn't balanced. It was based on contacts because Twitter was and is overwhelmingly staffed by people of one political orientation. Yup, it was nothing but a bunch of liberals up in there. There were more channels, more ways to complain, open to the left, well, Democrats, than the right. I'm not even shocked. Look at this. Contributions by party of recipient. Look how much they gave in 2020. Oh, wow. Look how much the Democrats gave each time compared to what the Republicans gave. Yo. Oh, that's so much money. That was around election time, y'all. Think about it. If you guys think back, they were saying how they played a role in manipulating the election. This is what this is about to get into. The resulting slant in content moderation decisions is visible in the documents you're about to read. However, it's also the assessment of multiple current and former high-level executives. Okay, there's more throat clearing about the process, but screw it, let's jump forward. The Twitter files, part 1. How and why Twitter blocked the Hunter Biden laptop story. On October 14th, 2020, the New York Post published Biden secret emails and expose based on the contents of Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop. Oh, and they have this up from the New York Post. Okay, so if you guys remember, we going way back now. Twitter took extraordinary steps to suppress the story, removing links and posting warnings that it may be unsafe. They even blocked its transmission via direct message to tool hitherto reserved for extreme cases, e.g. child pornography. So they were more worried about this than child porn. That's one thing Elon also has been doing ever since he came in. He's been cleaning up all the child porn, the hashtags or whatever they use. He's been cleaning all that up. But the left wants him up out of here. Miss me with it. White House spokesperson Kayleigh McEnany was locked out of her account for tweeting about the story, prompting a furious letter from Trump campaign staffer Mike Hahn, who seethed, "At least pretend to care for the next 20 days. Oh, we got the email. Kayleigh has been locked out from her account for simply talking about the New York Post story. All she did was cite the story and firsthand reporting that has been reported by other outlets and not disputed by the Biden campaign. I need to answer immediately on when or how she will be unlocked. I also don't appreciate how nobody on this team called me regarding the news that you'll be censoring news articles. Like I said, at least pretend to care for the next 20 days. Oh, we already knew what side they was playing on. This led public policy executive Carolyn Strom to send out a polite WTF query. Several employees noted that there was tension between the comms/policy teams who had little less control over moderation and the safety/trust teams. Hi team, are you able to take a closer look here? Thank you. Nope, and no they did not. Strom's note returned the answer that the laptop story had been removed for violation of the company's hacked materials policy. Hi Carolyn, thanks for reaching out to us. Per checking, the user was bounced by site integrity for violating our hacked materials policy. Adding them here for further insights and guidance. Thanks. Although several sources recalled hearing about a general warning from federal law enforcement that summer about possible foreign hacks, there's no evidence that I've seen of any government involvement in the laptop story. In fact, that might have been the problem. The decision was made at the highest levels of the company, but without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey, with former head of legal, policy, and trust Vijaya Gad playing a key role. Oh, snap! They just freelanced it, is how one former employee characterized the decision. Hacking was the excuse, but within a few hours, pretty much everyone realized that wasn't going to hold, but no one had the guts to reverse it. Yo. You can see the confusion in the following lengthy exchange, which ends up including Gad and former Trust and Safety Chief Yoel Roth. Comms official Trenton Kennedy writes, I'm struggling to understand the policy basis for marking this as unsafe. All right, so here we go. This says our teams continue to investigate the origins of the material included in the reporting. Trenton Kennedy. I'm struggling to understand the policy basis for marking this as unsafe, and I think the best explainability argument for this externally would be that we're waiting to understand if this story is the result of hacked materials. We'll face hard questions on this if we don't have some kind of solid reasoning for marking the link unsafe. By this point, everyone knew this was effed, said one former employee, but the response was essentially to err on the side of continuing to err. So Joel Roth says the policy basis is hacked materials, though, as discussed, this is an emergency situation where the facts remain unclear. Given the severe risks here and lessons of 2016, we're erring on the side of including a warning and preventing this content from being amplified. Vijaya says, what is the warning that will come up? Yoel, new. When you click the link, you'll see the generic unsafe URL message, references spam, malware, and violations of the Twitter rules. Not ideal, but it's the only thing we have. And then Ian Plunkett, new. Whatever we do in the comms, this will become a biased claim for Jack pre-hearing immediately. Let's make it clear we're proactively but cautiously interpreting this through the lens of our hacked materials policy and allowing the link with a warning and significant reduction of spread. Okay. Man, this is long. Former VP of Global Comms Brandon Borman asks, can we truthfully claim that this is part of the policy? So to Ian's point, can we truthfully claim that this is part of the policy, i.e. as part of our approach to addressing potentially hacked materials, are we limiting visibility of related stories on Twitter while our investigation is ongoing? To which former Deputy General Counsel Jim Baker again seems to advise staying the non-course because caution is warranted. So Jim says, I support the conclusion that we need more facts to assess whether the materials were hacked. At this stage, however, it is reasonable for us to assume that they may have been and that caution is warranted. There are some facts that indicate that the materials may have been hacked, while there are others indicating that the computer was either abandoned and or the owner consented to allow the repair shop to access it for at least some purposes. We simply need more information. A fundamental problem with tech companies and content moderation. Many people in charge of speech know/care little about speech and have to be told the basics by outsiders, to wit. In one humorous exchange on day one, Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna reaches out to Gad to gently suggest she hop on the phone to talk about the backlash re-speech. Khanna was the only Democratic official I could find in the files who expressed concern. Generating huge backlash on Hill re-speech. Happy to chat if you're up for it. Best Ro. Okay? Yeah, we read that. Gad replies quickly, immediately diving into the weeds of Twitter policy, unaware Khanna is more worried about the Bill of Rights. Hi, Congressman Khanna. Thank you for reaching out, and we appreciate the heads up. We put out a clarifying thread of tweets earlier this evening to explain our policy around the posting of private information and linking directly to hacked materials. The press secretary's account was not permanently suspended. We requested that she delete the tweet containing material that is in violation of our rules, and her account is restricted until she complies. I'd be happy to jump on the phone if helpful. My team in DC, Jessica and Lauren, are copied here and also available to discuss. Khanna tries to reroute the conversation to the First Amendment, mention of which is generally hard to find in the files. Okay. Hope you're well, Vijaya, but this seems a violation of the First Amendment principles. If there is a hack of classified information or other information that could expose a serious war crime and the New York Times was to publish it, I think the New York Times should have that right. A journalist should not be held accountable for the illegal actions of the source unless they actively aided the hack. So, to restrict the distribution of that material, especially regarding a presidential candidate, seems not in the keeping of the principles of New York Times v. Sullivan. I say this as a total Biden partisan and convinced he didn't do anything wrong, but the story now has become more about censorship than relatively innocuous emails, and it's become a bigger deal than it would have been. It also is now leading to serious efforts to curtail Section 230, many of which would have been a mistake. I believe Twitter itself should curtail what it recommends or puts in trending news, and your policy against QAnon groups is all good. It's a hard balance. But in the heat of a presidential campaign, restricting dissemination of newspaper articles, even if New York Post is far right, seems like it will invite more backlash than it will do good. Please keep this communication between just us and Jack. Well, that didn't work out. And no need to CC the team or forward to them. Just wanted to offer my 2 cents. Just to let y'all know, this shows nothing is truly secret in between who you think it's between. This shows it right here. It took 2 years for it to come out, but it happened. Within a day, head of public policy Lauren Culbertson receives a ghastly letter/report from Carl Szabo of the research firm NetChoice, which had already pulled 12 members of Congress, 9 R's and 3 Democrats, from the House Judiciary Committee to Rep. Judy Chu's office. Okay, what does this say? Lauren, yesterday NetChoice's Chris Marchese met informally with 9 Republican and 3 Democratic House staffers to gather intel about Facebook and Twitter and the New York Post story. The staffers hail from the House Judiciary Committee to Rep. Judy Chu's office. Okay, same thing. NetChoice lets Twitter know a bloodbath awaits in upcoming Hill hearings, with members saying it's a tipping point, complaining tech has grown so big that they can't even regulate themselves, so government may need to intervene. Yo! High-level takeaway, every Republican said this is a tipping point, it's just too much, and both Democrats and the Republicans were angry. Sabo reports to Twitter that some Hill figures are characterizing the laptop story as tech's Access Hollywood moment. When asked just how bad this situation is, one staffer said it's tech's Access Hollywood moment and it has no Hillary to hide behind. Others were more blunt. Tech is screwed, and rightfully so. This is crazy. Twitter files continued. The First Amendment isn't absolute. Szabo's letter contains chilling passages relaying Democratic lawmakers' attitudes. They want more moderation. As for the Bill of Rights, it's not absolute. The Democrats, meanwhile, complained that the companies are inept. They let conservatives muddy the water and make the Biden campaign look corrupt, even though Biden is innocent. They linked this to Hillary Clinton's email scandal. She did nothing wrong, but because the press wouldn't let the story go, it became a scandal far out of proportion. In their mind, social media is doing the same thing. It doesn't moderate enough harmful content, so when it does, like it did yesterday, it becomes a story. If the companies moderated more, conservatives wouldn't even think to use social media for disinformation, misinformation, or otherwise. The Democrats were in agreement. Social media needs to moderate more because they're corrupting democracy and making all truth relative. When pushed on how the government might insist on that, consistent with the First Amendment, they demurred. The First Amendment isn't absolute. Yo, these are the people that have been banning and shutting people up for 2 years. And they want to sit here talking about, it needs to be moderated more. It's wild. That is wild. An amazing subplot of the Twitter Hunter Biden laptop affair was how much was done without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey and how long it took for the situation to get uneffed, as one ex-employee put it, even after Dorsey jumped in. Oh, is this it? Okay, guys, I believe that is it for episode 1. And as you can see right here, Elon Musk says tune in for episode 2 of the Twitter Files tomorrow. Wow. Elon, see, this is why they didn't want Elon to buy Twitter. Because y'all got to remember, Elon used to rock with a lot of people on the left. And then what happened? They all turned on, pushed him away. And he's like, fine, I'll come kick it over here then. Then he was like, you know what? I do want to buy Twitter. I do want to buy it after all. This is crazy. And it just proves everything a lot of conservatives have been saying for the past 2 years. We've all been saying this, and everybody's just like, y'all tripping, y'all conspiracy theorists, y'all some liars, y'all just want to run everything. Do we? Or do the Democrats just want to hide things and shut certain people up and make y'all think certain things are happening when in reality, they messing everything up? Wow, okay. That was episode 1. We're going to come back whenever they drop episode 2 because this came out very late. It came out way later than Elon said it was going to come out. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all already know who it is. It's Sang.